We have a little health report here. We were sort of in the middle of. Now, this is that TikTok dentist I was telling you about. I think I'm not positive where he is. I thought he was in England, but maybe not. He's talking about what you should do with your toothbrush after you brush your teeth.
Every single night, you should be washing your toothbrush bristles with soap and water. Not only can this greatly impact the amount of bacteria and plaque buildup in your mouth, now studies are showing that bacteria in your mouth may be linked to your cardiovascular health, including the development of heart failure and atrial fibrillation. And once a week, soak this sucker in hydrogen peroxide or antibacterial mouthwash. Finally, if you get strep throat, after 12 to 24 hours, throw this thing away.
That's what Biggie was saying. His mother said, if you get sick, throw your toothbrush away and replace it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The other part, I've never heard of.
I would like to see, and I know he's trying to help and maybe try to get clicks. I don't know. But I would like to see him washing his toothbrush every GD night.
With soap and
I want
water?
to see security cameras from his house showing him washing his toothbrush once a night and then soaking it once a week. I have a new thing with my toothbrush. Remember I revolutionized the armpit?
Oh, yeah,
washing
you did do
last
that.
year.
Yeah,
I count.
he counts how many times he touches his armpit.
60 circles.
60 circles.
Sorry, Rain Man.
Is that the magic number?
That's his
Yes.
upper body workout for the day. That's how he does his
60 circles each
60
armpit?
circles
That's
each
right.
armpit.
Okay.
Armpits
Who
are
knew?
oh my God. And look at his my God. And look at his biceps. I mean, he's unbelievable. So you do that.
So
and now
my
you're doing
new,
something
my
to
new thing
toothbrush.
is with toothbrushes now, I've decided that when I start a new roll of or tube of toothpaste, I get a new toothbrush. And when the tube is done, I toss the brush.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
That's probably about right.
Fresh brush.
How a tube? Now, do you share the tube with your wife, or you use?
No, we each have. She has a different type than I do. I have sensitive gums.
That's right.
He's periodontal.
He's overall Sensodyne. He's
Sensodyne.
Oh, I'm in Sensodyne world.
Sensodyne man.
She's Arm and Hammer.
Oh God, she goes right at it. I'm a Sensodyne man myself.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
What are you gonna do? You want your teeth to
No,
fall
you got
out?
it. You got to use it. I buy it.
I'll get you a discount at Costco. I know you're not a member.
I have no place to put 1,000 tubes of toothpaste.
You do have to buy. You have to buy 1,000 too, but I'll give you 500 and me 500. Then we're set for
Set for life.
For life. That's right. Yeah.
It's probably not I don't know, a bad idea if you want to store your toothbrush in mouthwash overnight. That's not.
Well, that wouldn't be bad, would
That's
it?
not a bad idea.
What about the blue stuff that they put the combs in at the barbershop?
Barbershop.
Barbicide? That'll kill you.
Yeah, okay. Well, but getting back to
Yes.
how long does it take you generally to go through a tube of toothpaste?
You know, I've been trying to clock it. I think it's maybe 3 weeks.
So you
3
get a
to
new
4.
toothbrush every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't do that. I'm probably every 3 months.
Yeah.
A new toothbrush. Yeah. I mean,
I think you're electric now.
I am electric now, and to
Should we
change
do
to change the heads is
It's a whole new
it's
mechanism.
expensive. Yeah, you have to take it off, and to buy new ones are pricey. Used to,
I just buy the cheapy
Yeah.
Oral B's.
That's what I buy, and they come in a box. You get about 10 of them.
right.
Yeah.
I used to do that, but now in order to change, it's a fairly expensive thing.
Look, I'll put my mouth up against yours.
I'll put my mouth up
All
against
day.
all y'all's.
I will. Well, now wait a minute,
Wait a
Dave.
minute now.
You've had a lot of work.
You're under the hood all the
I've
time.
had a lot of work
You're always
down.
in the shop.
But that's why it works all the time.
Yeah, but
It's clean.
You can't
You could
do
eat off my teeth.
that. You do.
See?
You do every day. 3
See what
times
I
a day,
mean?
every day you do that.
See it?
But your teeth, those years of alcohol abuse, and cigarettes, come on. You can't. Chris Demm, yeah, probably
any
Chris Demm,
enamel
come
left?
on.
Who needs enamel? It's
Your-
overrated.
your teeth.
Get me to the root. What's it called? Pulp?
Root and stuff. Yeah, you're down at the pulp. You're down in there.
Yes.
But this guy that washes his toothbrush with soap and water every night.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is how hard would it be at the end? You just did a little drop of soap, and then you just push it around with maybe your thumb or whatever, and then rinse it out real good. What does it take? An extra 30 seconds?
You could.
You could do it.
You could.
But
What are you cleaning? That's what I want to know.
well, he says there's germs on there after you take it out of your mouth. That
He
was
said
his point.
bacteria.
Yeah.
Bacteria on there after you take it out of your mouth. But the next morning, would it taste like soap? Even if you put the toothpaste
If you don't
on
rinse it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
course you will.
rinsing would be.
I bet. Absolutely, you taste it.
You
But
probably
I use
would.
a different toothbrush in the morning than I do at night.
Me too.
I use my electric at night,
Me
and then in the
too.
morning I
too.
use the old fashioned.
Me too.
Really?
So that makes
Huh.
sense. So it would be 24 hours later. Maybe we should try it, Dave.
You could try it.
I mean, see, I don't know. The guy, at least soak it in it. What am I?
Well, you
doing?
could soak it, but doesn't that keep the bacteria alive if you keep it wet?
If you soak it in mouthwash.
Doesn't it?
But he says soak it once a week in antibacterial
Oh, I was going to
mouthwash.
shove it in there every night.
Well, he says do that once a week.
Are all mouthwashes on the market today antibacterial, or is that a special category?
At the very least, they would say it if they are. I bet most
like
of
your
them
basic Listerine?
I bet it is. Yeah, I think. Because
Even the green one?
I think that's what they're going to say, right? Is antibacterial.
What about Lavoris?
I do. I bet most of them are, except for the real cheapies.
I think the Listerine's probably still the strongest and best on the market.
That really kills.
Seems like better than
that's
Scope.
their image.
That's their whole thing is kill the germs. You know. The other health-related item today is two things about urinating. Not only you're brushing your teeth wrong,
Baby Shea.
you're urinating improperly as well. They said this is a doctor who says men, and this was a study done at the University of Illinois, and the doctor who led it says that only 10% of men in America sit down when they urinate. But in Germany, 60% of men sit down when they urinate. And he says that position is the proper way to do it, to empty your bladder fully. And because we stand, we get way more kidney infections, bladder stones, and urinary tract infections than those in, for instance, Germany, where they sit to pee. And he's talking about guys. Now, do you buy that? That's what he says. The numbers are there.
I guess the numbers don't lie.
But I mean, how many men do you know that have a UTI?
A UTI or bladder infection?
Kidney stones, maybe.
Now, stones is a whole different ballgame to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
more about. I thought that was more diet.
Even so, it's worth it just to not have to deal with that. Just not to have to deal with sitting down every time you go to the bathroom.
It's worth it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would rather get a kidney stone than have to sit down every time I got to pee.
Well, I don't know.
You like to sling it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
got places to go, man. I don't have time to sit down and do all that.
Well,
No.
but you're talking about a kidney stone leads to like a hospital stay, right? I mean, they have to get rid of the stones. Break
Still
them up.
worth it.
Still
I don't
worth
got the
it.
time, man.
You don't.
No.
You will not sit down.
You ain't got time for the pain.
Will not sit down. Well, he says, sit down, and you will not risk these kinds of.
If you had told me that one country's men sit 60% of the time, I would have never guessed Germany.
Not Germany, no.
Look, with all those soccer hooligans and whatnots.
God almighty, they've totally changed.
France, maybe. I don't know. about Germany.
Okay. That's
There you go again.
There's a
See,
shot
there
across
you
the
go
bow.
again.
At
That kinda
you,
hurts.
isn't it? 100%.
My bad, dude.
And then the other research says this is about urinating as well. They said before you leave for a trip, a lot of people will go in and sort of force themselves to pee. And one doctor says, don't do that. You should never do that until it's time. Don't go strain.
Well, straining is bad, regardless.
It's terrible. But a lot of people say, well, you won't have to for like an hour and a half. You wait.
Never tried that. Never strained or forced myself to pee.
No. Even before a long trip.
Nope.
But you do go before you leave the house.
If I have to
If you're
go.
driving to the beach.
If I have to go, yeah.
But not if you don't.
If I got the feeling.
Well,
No,
But haven't you ever just hovered over a toilet and suddenly you get
No.
the feeling? You don't do
Never.
that. Well, you're right.
I got to get the feeling.
It's important to keep your bladder and pelvic floor muscles strong, especially for women. But a lot of women go to the bathroom before they go on a long trip, and therefore women between 45 and 65 have trouble with leakage.
And I don't want to I don't want to pick on the woman. She's not here to defend herself. But Kelly, your wife, is at the opposite end of the pole.
She will not
urinate on the road.
So she does go before we leave the house, and then she'll go all day or weekends without peeing because she only will do it at home.
Does her
Amazing.
doctor say this is unhealthy?
Of course. And she'll be one. I shouldn't talk about her, but she might be
don't
one of
talk
the.
about
I
her.
tell her, I'm like, you've got to go to the bathroom. I can't. And then by the time we pull into the
But
garage,
it's mental with her, right?
when we pull into
After
the
a long
garage,
weekend?
she will say, "Get out of my way! Get out of my way!" And sometimes I have to go.
Door gets slammed open.
And she'll say, "You just have to wait," and she will go to the bathroom. And sometimes she'll have to barely gets across the floor. She's like, "I'm going to pee. I'm going to pee." It's very, very difficult.
I'm worried about her floor.
Big time.
Yeah.
You should
some
be.
cracks in the floor.
You should be. There's issues with flooring, certainly. Well, BB Shea, you won't be with us next week.
No,
You're
I
off,
won't be. What's
speaking
going
of
on
trips,
here?
you're off for a golf trip.
Yeah,
next week.
going to the beach.
That's
to hang out.
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Playing some golf down there.
That's right. Yep.
Is this a family trip or with your fellas?
It's a family trip. My dad tries to plan one every year for us, so
Okay.
we're going to a new beach I've never been to, so I'm excited to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a house, hotel?
It's kind of like a condo type thing. Yeah.
I liked your answer. It's called Indian Beach.
Indian Beach.
And we
yes.
said, where is it? And you said, not really sure. It's on the coast.
Yeah.
Well, it is a beach.
Near the ocean. Given.
He got it. It is on the coast. That's right.
And when you see the water, stop.
Yeah.
yes.
Are you ready for your wrap?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
We always enjoy this portion.
All right.
It goes back over the entire week, a weekly wrap up. We'll drop a beat for BB Shea.
All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. I said it's been a rough week. No, it's not an excuse. Nothing's been the same since we lost the juice. Yeah, OJ died. We were sad when we learned it. Almost as shocked as when Kelly heard the verdict. Not just the juice, but Whitey Herzog too. The coach of the Angels and the Cardinals too. He had his own style. Whitey Ball was the saying. That's also what Kelly spends his afternoons playing. I mean pickleball. The court is the steeple. A game that he plays with better looking people. He had his own tournament to dink and drink. He played for 6 hours and he does not stink. It was a real long day. He needs some TLC. A Diet Coke, Cakelingus, and a McDLT. Speaking of Diet Coke, Kelly's back in a funk. He's drinking 6 a day, about half as much as Trump. They've got that in common, as well as how much they make. And according to Dave, both of their hair colors fake. Dave said at first, please don't get offended. I still can't believe Demm's win streak ended. He hadn't lost all year and he was getting cocky. That was all up until Rodney came knocking. What a great game, 2 Goliaths of the questions. Needless to say, there was no pre-Xing. Demm knows the game, his knowledge can go on. Not unlike Kelly, big goofy like Boban. He can't make a free throw to win the game. Yeah, he's almost as useless as Kelly's uncle's cane. He's got to use an old one. Now that's really telling. When it comes to his money, he's tighter than Tori Spelling. That's it for me. Sorry to get it hot. Biggie, I'll be by later for some Jello shot.
That Tory.
My God.
That Tory Spelling reference.
That's
was
a nice line.
Forgot about
That
her.
was a good one, yeah. If you missed that earlier in the week.
Her pelvic floor is intact.
Yeah. Her OB-GYN told her, you've got the vagina of a 14-year-old.
You have to prove it.
My goodness, BB Shea from the rafters.